You know, what La République is doing to us is what they did in the Bamileke lands. You saw the report of the French helicopter pilot.
This former French soldier was sent to Cameroon between 1962 and 1964 in the Bamileke region. He was a helicopter pilot and witnessed several massacres committed by the Cameroonian army. It was strongly supported and funded by France. The army targeted members of the UPC, a party that opposed President Amadou Ahidjo. The UPC believed that after independence in 1960, Ahidjo was simply France's hand-picked puppet. For the first time on television, Max Bardet describes the atrocities he saw.
They had to finish the men off, but not the women. They just let them die like that. They shot the women with Kalashnikovs and also cut off their breasts and disemboweled them.
During these massacres, Max Bardet was accompanied by a French officer.
The officer who was with me did not want anyone to be able to say that France was involved in this whole thing.
Is it any different from what is happening now?
No, it is not different. They did the same thing. But I think that a Somba guy that you just quoted, is it Benoit or Belois or something like that?
I don't remember
that
his
said
name.
that La République cannot win a war against a part of its population that is about 20%. He is one of the people who also said that the reason that La République was successful with the Bamileke people was because the Maquis, as they called them at that time, did not have a diaspora.
Okay.
In this, our struggle, La République is not going to be successful because we have a very powerful diaspora. So if they think that the strategy that they used and succeeded with the Bamilekes in those days, they are going to use it and be successful with us, it is not going to work.
Okay, let's just go down the many reasons why La République is doing this. So they're doing it because they succeeded in the Bassa and the Bamileke lands.
So it was a strategy that worked.
It was a strategy that worked then. They also one of the reasons why they're doing the same thing is because the people who caused that particular genocide, it was a genocide.
Yes.
The people who caused that same situation are still in power today. Paul Biya was part of the Ahidjo administration. You can see the pictures at that time. He was there. And remember that if you go into the people who are still in power, I think I in one of the reports I said that the average age there is 65, and somebody called me and told me that is higher than that.
Yeah, it is.
So the people who caused that genocide are still there. You know what I'm saying? And they're still doing the same thing. Remember that the first beheading that was done of what's his name?
Sam Sawyer.
Of Sam Sawyer was done by La République. And I was listening to a piece by General Semenge, who is one of their retired generals. And he said that the reason why they were cutting those heads at the time was to tell the population that whatever they believed about the invincibility of their people, they're not invincible, so they needed to cut the heads and show them.
Il y a eu un sentiment. D'abord, les rebelles avaient fait dire aux populations qu'ils étaient, qu'on ne pouvait pas les tuer. Qu'on ne pouvait pas les tuer. Donc, les populations croyaient vraiment beaucoup à l'invulnérabilité des Noirs. Alors, on était obligé, quand on a tué un chef rebelle, vraiment, de couper sa tête et de venir l'exposer dans les villages. Bon, je pense quand même que c'était un peu d'information.
You see, so what they did at that time is the same thing they're practicing now. They practiced it in their territory, in their country, and it succeeded, so they're trying it in our country. The second reason we just gave is that the people who caused that particular genocide are still the people ruling today. Why? Because the French keep them in power. And the French were the people who trained them. If you hear of that helicopter pilot, he was not talking about something that the Africans were doing to each other. It's what the French commanders that were in place were doing.
Ce que voulait voir cet officier qui était avec moi, the officer who was with me did not want anyone to be able to say that France was involved in this whole thing.
So the Cameroon army is trained by the French, and you can see they're using the same tactics, isn't it? So that's three. Can you think about another one? Why this thing is happening exactly the same?
Probably they are calling Macron, and that's why he was talking like that the other week, and telling him, hey, you said your guys would take care of this thing, what is happening?
Remember that in 1993, our people were saying, let's go back to the federation that used to be. And Mitterrand was one of those that advised, the newspapers published it, that Paul Biya should use the military to suppress us. And he said that because he knows that the rest of the world will not do anything. Or Western powers are not going to do anything because they are allies, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are the masters of the universe. And so these are some of the reasons why you see this mayhem going on. You see they come and take poor, uneducated Africans, train them, arm them to go and kill their own people, and they sit behind and give you the excuses that the UN is giving you, and some of what the rest of the world is saying. Now I think Macron. Now let's expand on Macron. You know, Macron came out the other day after he was questioned by the activists, and he showed how much power he has over Paul Biya, because he said, I made him. That's basically what he was saying. I made him release Camto, right? And basically he was saying, I will make him resolve the situation in Ambazonia. But do you think they really want to resolve it?
No, they will not. They don't want to. Well, they want to resolve it. Their wish, because if they don't resolve it, then they will keep having all these complaints from other European countries and the United States and all the other people.
Yes.
They want to resolve it, and that is why they had given him this free hand to play.
To bring things to normalcy.
To bring things to normal.
Normal. If you go and listen to the minister, he said one thing to be normalcy. What is normalcy for our people?
The National Defense and Security Forces have once again been subjected to second-guessing and false allegations in their struggle for a return to normalcy in the northwest and southwest regions of our country.
They had given him all the time, and that is why he went after their national dialogue. He went and gave a report to him, and he himself said he came and gave a report to Macron.
Yes.
That is also to support the fact that because one of the guys who were paid to go on the street to go and protest that France, Cameroon as an independent country, they forgot that the guy that they called their president actually told the Sudanese guy in France during that what they call world whatever
war peace something
that he had came and gave a report to Macron of the national dialogue. The people who are sitting there never knew what was agreed on the national, because he never talked to anybody.
No.
So but why would he go and give a report to Macron if he's not answerable to him?
No, I mean, we know about the cooperation agreements.
So this is a rhetorical question.
Yeah.
For those people who are protesting and saying Cameroon is an independent country and things like that, because they don't know these things. So we are trying to educate them that, hey, your guy is what they call a boy.
No, he's a vassal of the French.
Yes.
He's just a governor. You know, there's a cartoon that somebody made, and Macron is in front of a board telling them that you are governors. Remember?
Yes.
Yes. And that's what is happening in France-Afrique.
So you asked if Macron wants to resolve it. Yeah, he wants to resolve the problem, but not in the way that you and I think. He knows that he is in a bind, because if he really wanted to resolve the problem, he would not have said they should release only Camto. He would have said they should release Seseko and the other people.
Yes. Yeah. No, he does not want them to release. But remember that Macron was in Nigeria, I think, was it last year or 2018?
Yeah.
And he talked about expanding the French language, and that the French, maybe it's not Nigeria, maybe it's Burkina Faso, where he was saying that he wants the French language to become the first language in the world, and that and they were looking on Africa to expand the French language. And I think a friend of mine reminded me that You cannot be expanding the French language and then murdering 1 million people in Rwanda who were French speaking at the time. So no, Macron does not, the French do not want that situation resolved. And the French don't want to get out of Africa. You know what the game they're trying to play with the ECHO. It just shows that they want to keep their money, they want the cooperation agreements to stay.